All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Christopher Bates. This is our October 12th docket. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the matters on for arraignment today. And I'll take them in order in which I've received the arraignment forms back. The first matter is City versus David Allen Brooke. If Mr. Brooke can please step forward to the podium. Good afternoon. You are David Allen Brooke?
Yes, Book, B-O-O-K.
Oh, Book. I'm sorry.
Um,
So you are charged with driving on a license suspended in the third degree, meaning that your license is eligible for reinstatement. That is a misdemeanor offense. It carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. You do have rights in this court. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. You can apply for one, and if you're eligible, one will be appointed to represent you. You have a right to a trial, and you have a right to a jury trial or a trial before a judge. If your case went to trial, you have a right to hear and question the city's witnesses and also have witnesses testify in your defense. If convicted at trial, you have a right to appeal your conviction. Do you understand those rights?
yeah,
Okay. And to the charge of driving suspended third, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
not guilty.
Okay. And you've indicated you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And this is a true statement of your financial status?
Yes,
Okay. All right, well, I do find that you're eligible. I'm going to appoint our public defender to represent you. You'll be provided with his contact information before you leave court today. Your next appearance in this court will be on November 25th. That is an appearance with you and your attorney present, along with the city attorney. I see you don't have a mailing address. Is there any, do you get mail at general delivery or anywhere?
No, there's an address you can put down, or I could, 505 School Road, Aberdeen, Washington, Aberdeen, and Central Park.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got your address for you. On your way out, if you would give the court clerk a good phone number, do you have a phone?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, if you'll give her your phone number, that way we can get it to our public defender so he has a way to contact you also.
I think she already contacted me before this.
Yeah, okay,
So she does have the number, but I'll make sure again.
okay. All right, well, that concludes your arraignment today. As a condition of your release, you're not to drive unless you have a valid license and insurance, okay? All right, we will see you back here at the end of November.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next case is Eric Rivera Solorio. Good afternoon. Can you state your name for the record?
Yeah, Eric Rivera Solorio.
Mr. Solorio, you are also charged with driving on a suspended license, suspended in the third degree. You were in the courtroom when I explained the rights the gentleman before you has in this court. Those same rights apply. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is a misdemeanor offense that could carry a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Understanding the rights that you have in this court, the charge against you, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you have a license today?
I do not know.
Okay. Are you able to get a license?
I was just employed yesterday, so I was just hoping to get in the process of that. Yeah.
Okay. Because if you're able to obtain a license and come back to this court with a license, our city attorney amends these criminal matters to the infraction of no valid operator's license with identification. Do you think you want to set your arraignment over a month to see if you can come back with a license?
Yeah, let's try that for sure.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set your case over to our November 25th docket when our city attorney is present. And so please stay in contact with the court. We will continue your arraignment to that day, and hopefully on the 25th of November, you'll come back with a license and the results will be a lot better than ending up with a criminal charge on the record.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. If you'll sign for your court date on your way out, that concludes your hearing today.
Awesome. Thank you.
November 25th, oh, 23rd, okay. Is Destiny McKinney present? Good afternoon. Are you Destiny McKinney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss McKinney, how old are you?
18.
Okay. Just trying to make sense of your birth date to see if this was in the proper court. So you are charged by criminal citation with threats to do harm under our Montesano Municipal Code. I believe this is a misdemeanor offense and carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. You do have rights in this court. You have a right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford one. You also have a right to a speedy trial and a right to a jury trial or a bench trial, meaning before a judge. If your case went to trial, you have a right to hear and question witnesses that the city would bring to testify against you, and you would have a right to bring witnesses to testify in your defense. If convicted at trial, you have a right to appeal your conviction. To the charge of threats to do harm, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. On your form, you've indicated you want to plead not guilty and you want a court-appointed lawyer. Have you ever been to court before?
Sorry, I messed up on that.
Okay, let's
I meant
try.
not guilty.
Okay, so a plea of not guilty.
Not guilty, sir.
And you've indicated you'd like a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on your screening form, is this a true statement of your financial status?
Mhm.
Yes? All right. I find that you're eligible for a public defender, and we will appoint our city public defender to represent you. And with that said, you'll be provided his phone number on your way out of the courtroom. You'll get your court date as well, which will be November 23rd. And so you've asked for an attorney. I've provided one to you. And I highly recommend that you contact your attorney before your next court date. Am I clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And as far as your release conditions, I've read the probable cause statement. I don't know what's going on at school, but making alleged threats that are alleged in the report, those are not acceptable, and I expect you to be on your best behavior at school, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, that concludes your arraignment date today. Please speak with my court clerk on your way out of court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that, you're done here. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, is Aaron Palmer present? Good afternoon. You are Aaron Palmer?
Yes, sir.
Miss Palmer, you are charged with driving on a license suspended in the third degree, meaning that your license is eligible for reinstatement. This is a misdemeanor offense and carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. You've been in the courtroom for a little while. Did you hear me read through the rights as a defendant that you have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand those rights?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. I did find probable cause based on the officer's sworn affidavit that was submitted. And so to that charge, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
For now, not guilty.
Okay. And it looks like you're asking that a court-appointed attorney
Yes, sir.
help you? Okay. And reading over your financial screening form, this is a true and correct statement of your status?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you are eligible for a public defender, and I will appoint one. You'll be given his contact information on your way out of court today, and we will see you back here on November 23rd, and you'll be present, and so will your attorney.
Okay.
Okay? In the meantime, unless you have a valid license and insurance, you're not to drive a motor vehicle. Are we clear on that?
Yeah, is there any way that, since it's just, suspended with eligibility of getting it, can I get my court date set like a couple months so that I can try to do something about my license?
Okay, right now, you have a public defender, so I would contact him at the phone number that you'll be provided, and if a continuance is needed, he can request that through the city attorney.
Okay.
Okay? All right, we will see you back here November 23rd or at a later date. All right, next, I think we have a special setting with Christopher Wang. And I see we have our city attorney present. There's been some documents provided to the court prior to today's hearing. And so I'll let the parties make their presentation to the court, starting with defense counsel.
Yes, so the documents provided to the court is a petition for deferred prosecution. The petition covers cause numbers 1A089954 and 180267854. They're both driving under the influence that happened in the city of Montesano. They were basically back to back within a day of each other. Mr. Wang has entered into a deferred prosecution treatment with the Willapa Behavioral Health. I believe that evaluation has been provided to the court. And then with regards to the third DUI, which I do not have a cause number directly in front of me, we're resolving that via SOC. That will just kind of track along with the deferred prosecution treatment. And if he complies with the treatment and complies with an additional 1 year of no criminal law violations, it'll be amended to a negligent driving.
Okay, and then we also have one infraction associated with 1A267859, and it ends in 860. It's failure to stop at an intersection. What are the parties planning to do about that?
The city and I did not ever really discuss the infraction. It'd be fantastic.
Your Honor, if that can track with the deferred prosecution to a dismissal, if successfully completed, the city has no objection to that.
All right, I will add that cause number to the deferred prosecution petition and order.
And we, of course, have no objection to that.
All right, Mr. Wang, let's first go over your petition. Did you have the opportunity to read through this petition with your attorney and ask him any questions regarding this petition?
I had the opportunity, yes.
Okay, you understand everything that will be required of you?
Yes,
Okay. I did read over the diagnostic evaluation and treatment plan from Willapa Behavioral Health. I did see that everything is in order and it meets the requisites of the deferred prosecution, RCW under 1015. And I'm just going to add the other case number to the order. So, Mr. Wang, do you want me to sign off on this order?
yes,
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you're taking this by the reins. Hopefully this will be a positive in your life and you'll successfully complete it. So I've signed that order. We'll need signatures of the parties and yourself, Mr. Wang, on that petition. And now I'm going to address the statement of defendant on submittal or stipulation to facts, jury trial waiver, and speedy trial waiver. This charge under 1A026789 is also a charge of driving under the influence. Did you also read through and have this document explained by your attorney?
Yes,
You understand that you're stipulating to the police reports and you give up all the rights that you currently have in this court?
yes,
And if you meet the conditions of this agreement successfully, it looks like the city will agree to amend the charge to negligent driving in the first degree. And for the party's information, on the document itself, it simply says negligent driving. I've added first degree after that. So, Mr. Wang, you've agreed to have this case continued for 36 months. During this time period, you're not to have any criminal violations of the law. You're going to pay $300 in court costs. And Mr. Wang, that also brings me back to the deferred prosecution petition. There will be the deferred prosecution fee in that case of $250. And you also, as a condition of this agreement, state that you will comply with your deferred prosecution treatment that I just ordered. You understand all this?
yes,
Okay. Well, I've signed off on that stipulation and order, and I have the party's signature on that document already. And so I think that concludes the case. The one remaining pretrial issue that is in effect is that I'm going to issue an order that terminates the requirement that you have a scram bracelet. So we'll get you a copy of that order. I'll have your city attorney draft that order. And if I find it acceptable, I'll sign off on that. You can take that to the agency that installed your scram bracelet and have that removed.
okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Wang, if you can wait around while your attorney drafts that order to terminate the scram requirement as a pretrial condition, once you have that, you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
So just hang out because I'll have another order for you to sign as well.
And Mr. Rhodes, I really didn't ask for any commentary. I don't think that it was needed, but did I miss anything?
You didn't. City endorses everything that's been represented here today.
Okay. Well, did you catch any fish?
We had a good week. Yeah.
All right.
We-
I'd like to
yeah,
hear about that.
I'll tell you
Okay.
about it sometime on the Rogue.
That concludes your appearance today. You're free to log off.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have another arraignment for a Johnny Ray Herrera. Is Mr. Herrera present? Are you Johnny Ray Herrera?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Herrera, you are before the court. You have a couple charges. The first being driving suspended in the third degree. The second being operating a motor vehicle without an ignition interlock device. Those are both misdemeanor offenses and carry a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine each. Do you understand the rights you have in this court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Understanding the charges against you and the rights you have in this court, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Plea of not guilty is entered. And are you asking for a public defender or are you planning to hire your own attorney?
I'll just hire my own attorney.
Okay. And are you employed right now?
I'm self-employed.
Okay. Well, what we'll do, we've entered a plea of not guilty. I did review the reports ahead of time and I find that there is probable cause. We will set your case for pretrial conference on our attorney day, which is November 23rd. So if you retain an attorney by that time, they'll know what to do to represent you.
Okay.
So you'll probably want to get on that sooner rather than later. As far as release today, I'm releasing you on your personal recognizance. The conditions being that you not drive unless you have a valid license and
I
insurance.
actually have the license.
Okay,
If you
Well-
want to see it, right there.
and not drive.
And
Can you stop interrupting me?
also, yeah,
The other condition is that you not drive without a valid interlock in your car. And so you said you're going to obtain an attorney. I've already set this matter on for the 23rd. So when you appear with your attorney on the 23rd, make sure you provide him with proof that you are relicensed and he can talk to the city attorney about that. Okay? So you can sign for your court date and we will see you back on November 23rd. All right, I'm going to take a short break to see if anyone else shows up before I head into our 3:20 calendar here. So the court clerk will let me know when we're ready. All right, the court's back on the record. I'm going to take some of our 320 cases. I understand Mark Helland is present for a mitigated hearing. If Mr. Helland would step forward to the podium. Good afternoon, Mr. Helland. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
So Mr. Helland, for the record, you and I know each other from over the years, I believe. Am I correct?
Yes.
And I think what I'm going to do is recuse myself from your case to allow, since I've represented you in the past on civil matters, I'm not comfortable hearing your case.
Okay.
And what I'll do, if you want, because you're mitigating this, you can ask the court clerk to submit a written mitigation request to the court, and then we can have a pro tem judge review that and make a decision. Does that work for you?
Yeah, it's really not a big deal either way. I could either just pay it too. It was just a weird circumstance. I don't know if you even want to hear about it. But.
Okay, what I'll do, because I don't want to hear this case.
Okay.
And so, Mr. Helland, I would encourage you to ask for the written mitigation form. And so explain the weird situation on that document, and a pro tem judge can make a decision in your case.
Will do.
Okay, thank you for appearing today.
Okay.
I see one person sitting in the courtroom. Can you identify yourself to the court?
Grace Guntle, Your Honor.
It's kind of hard to hear you from back there. Can you come up to the podium and state your name, please?
Grace Guntle.
Guntle. Okay, let me get your file. Okay, Ms. Guntle, you've requested a contested hearing, meaning that you don't believe you committed the infraction of speeding 16 miles an hour over the speed limit allegedly. I'm looking at your driving record. You are eligible for a deferred finding. If you want a chance to keep this off your record, is that something you want to do, or do you want to contest?
Yes, please. Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, if you'll have a seat, I'll get the paperwork for that. I'll fill it out, and then I'll have my court, I'll come back on the record and we can address that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Guntle, can you approach the podium again? All right, so I've granted a deferred finding on this infraction, and some of the conditions are the case, I'll continue the case for a period of 12 months. Conditioned on you paying a fine of $210. You're going to agree that you're not going to have any moving violation, traffic infractions. If you do those two things and keep your record clean, this ticket will be dismissed. And ultimately, the benefit is that your insurance doesn't go up. So,
Oh, gosh.
and I apologize for earlier snapping at you when you came in the court office, but
That was my
we've had-
fault.
we've had security issues, and so I'm pretty sensitive to that. So
I apologize.
I'll go ahead. I'll get this order out to you. You can sign it and get a copy from the court clerk.
Wonderful. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yep, that concludes your case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.